Hello, my friends. How are you? I am so excited to be sharing this subject with you tonight because it's been on my mind a lot lately and I've had so many conversations with people. I'm going to be sharing with you how to overcome your fear of being visible. So what do I mean by being visible? I mean getting yourself out there online, so on social media, on your website, on all the different platforms that you can be out there in the online world, and also offline. How to step up, how to actually own your space, how to take authority in your area, in your niche, how to really position yourself as the expert, because I know that a lot of you actually have fear around this. And I definitely did when I started off. I just had so much fear coming up about who do I think I am? Why would people listen to me? I don't know enough yet. Imposter syndrome. People are going to find out that I don't know everything about this topic, and therefore, what's the point? I can't put myself out there until I know everything. So, why is it so important to be visible? Well, if you're a small business owner, if you're wanting to increase your clients, if you're wanting to grow your business, if you're wanting to have a real impact in the world and help more people, you really need to master the ability to put yourself out there, to be visible, to own your space, to step up in that authority, to own that positioning, that authority that you have, that genius zone that you have, the gifts that you have. You really need to be able to step up and be out there regularly, consistently, and not hiding behind your laptop. Now, I was talking to a friend today and we were discussing how we used to hide behind our laptop. We used to stay in our comfort zone, and we just thought there was something wrong with people not signing up with us, that we were doing our bit, we were creating content, but actually we weren't really putting ourselves out there in the way that, you know, our full potential called for, right? So you can kind of dabble a little bit and post a little bit here and there and put up a motivational quote. But when I'm saying be visible, I mean stepping up, owning your space. I mean having an opinion, having a voice, sharing your message, and not hiding behind things that aren't really your full essence of what you're here to do on the planet, what you're here to actually achieve, and the purpose of why you've been born. So I'm going to go through 3 strategies that you can use straight away to overcome this fear of being visible. It's a very real fear. I've struggled with it for years, and I learned some really cool strategies that have helped me to be able to just consistently get out there. Despite the fear, sometimes it's getting out there anyway, even though you still feel the fear. But when you can actually really learn how to control your mindset around it, your thought life around it, that actually reduces the fear, limits the fear. I'm not going to try and pretend that the fear completely goes away, because it actually doesn't. The fear, every time we're pushing our comfort zone, every time we're going up that level, that fear is going to be there. That fear is going to, try and keep us safe. And that's a good thing. It's just part of our brain that wants to keep us safe. So actually, I love what Seth Godin says. He says the fear is never going to go away. You just have to learn to take action despite the fear. Thanks for joining me, Jen. It's good to see you on here. So I'm going to go through 3 strategies that you can use to be more visible, to show up in the big way that you know that you're here on this planet to do, and make the impact that you're really here to make. The first thing that you want to do is identify the belief that's actually causing the fear. Identify the belief that's causing the fear. So there's some kind of belief that you have that's driving this fear of not wanting to play full out, not wanting to really say everything that you're wanting to say, not wanting to fully own the whole message. And so you might be just bringing parts of yourself to the world. You're just showing little bits. I'm not saying like show everything, because you've got to know what's effective, know what's going to be the best outcome for the people that are following you, the people that are watching you on social media, or wherever you're showing up in life. There's a belief that's driving the fear. So whenever we have a belief is basically every thought that we accept as truth. I was talking to a friend about it today. Every thought that we accept as truth is a belief, right? So a belief is, we don't have to accept every thought that we think. You don't have to believe every thought that you think. Just because a thought pops into your mind, oh, who am I to do that? We don't have to believe it. We don't actually have to play to it. We can choose whether we want to actually believe that thought. So if you have fear, it's coming from a thought, and you want to identify what is actually the belief. So once you've identified it, you might think, okay, I know what's causing the fear. I'm actually scared that someone is going to see me online who knows that in my past, I've done things incongruent to actually what I'm sharing, the message that I'm sharing now. And I'm saying this as an example because I was talking to a client today, and it's exactly what she said. She said, I feel that if I'm putting myself out in this space, that everyone that's known me ever throughout my whole life is going to think, well, I know that you're not always living that. And the truth is, that is true for all of us. All of us live out of alignment with what we're teaching at some point in time, because that's human. When there's life, there's mess. When there's humanity, there's imperfection. So if you put this bar on yourself that you have to be perfect all the time, otherwise it waters down your message, that's going to keep you really small. That's going to stop you from being visible. So you've got to find out, what is the belief? Identify it. Maybe it's that you feel like you don't know enough, that you're not smart enough. Maybe you feel like you aren't pretty enough to get on camera, or that you don't know enough about technology. Maybe the belief is that you need to go and do another course. Maybe you think that you need to have 5 successful clients and have testimonials before you can actually say that you're an expert in this space. So, I mean, the truth is, you can start helping people straight away. You don't need to have a certain amount of people on your email list or a certain amount of Facebook followers. You can literally start helping people straight away. So if your belief is that you've got to be at a certain point before you can market yourself, like I had this belief that as a business coach, I had to be earning a certain amount of money, I had to have a certain amount of followers, and I had to have a certain size email list before I could start teaching other people. And that's not true. I can help my clients right now because I know how to teach them how to get clients. So sometimes we wait until we've got things all perfectly together, and the cost of that is that people miss out on your genius, on what you can bring to the world to help them, because you're letting this fear hold you back. So remember, the fear is driven by a belief. Identify the belief, write it down. Number 2, you've got to identify the belief needed to take action. You've got to identify the belief that's needed to take action. So maybe you're believing something that's keeping you small, right? It's keeping you invisible and it's stopping you from stepping out. You need to identify, what do I need to believe in order to take action? So I've talked to probably 4 people recently, and all of them feel like as soon as they go out on social media for the first time and share their message for the first time, that this is now their niche that they're coaching in, for example, that they have to have all these steps in place before they do that. So it's stopping them putting that first message out, or that first Facebook Live, or that first post actually teaching on your area of expertise or your topic. So that belief is not serving you. So what belief do you need to believe in order to take action? Maybe you need to believe that perfection doesn't exist, that it's all about progress, not perfection, that there are people out there that will benefit from what I'm sharing, even if I don't have 10 clients, even if I don't, if I'm not perfect. Like, let's say you're a health coach and you think, well, I need to lose weight and I need to be at my perfect size before I can be a health coach, because people are going to judge me otherwise. You need to know that your ability to coach someone has nothing to do with your own personal results. That is making it about you. Yes, there's some people that might judge the material. Of course, there are going to be some people out there. But if you think about all the examples of coaches who are helping people and they are not as good as the coach. So for example, Tiger Woods, his coach is not as good a golfer as Tiger Woods, but he is an excellent coach. There's multiple examples of in sport where the actual coach is not better than the player, but they're just excellent at coaching. So just because you don't just because you haven't reached a certain level doesn't mean you can't coach people in it, because you absolutely can. Because if you make it all about your results and you having to achieve perfection before you can help others, you'll be waiting a long time and people will be missing out. So it's something you've just got to get over. It's just something that you've got to decide, okay, what belief do I need to have in order to get myself out there and be visible? I need to believe that what I have to say is valuable and worthy of people listening to it and responding to it. If you don't believe that, people pick up that energy. They'll think, oh yeah, she doesn't know what she's doing, because you're not owning the worth. So something you can do to build your belief, build your self-worth, is actually write out a list of reasons why you deserve it, or reasons why what you have to offer is valuable. I posted about this today on Instagram, writing a whole list of 80 to 100 reasons why. So you need to really live out of that belief of what you need to take action. I need to believe that it's not about perfection, it's about being visible, that someone is going to get helped by what I have to share in the world. So that's a belief I need to operate from. And that fuel that drives you, that is going to be such a more powerful fuel than operating out of fear, right? Hey Connie, how are you? I was thinking about you today, so I hope this is helpful. So number one, you've got to identify the belief causing the fear. Number two, you need to identify the belief needed to take action. And number three, you need to strengthen your why. Strengthen your why. If you've done any kind of reading about leadership books, about leadership, if you've read any books about business, so many of them come back to this why. What is your why? So Simon Sinek talks a lot about it. Many great successful people talk about it. Sometimes we lose track of our why. If we are thinking about ourselves and thinking about what we're going to get out of it, we probably won't be motivated or inspired to take action and actually be out there and be visible. But if we are thinking about our why, about the stronger reason, the bigger reason, the reason that's beyond us, the reason that's bigger than us, that is going to motivate us, that's going to fuel us and drive us to actually take action and do hard things, do uncomfortable things. I used to hate doing Facebook Lives because I felt so awkward. I was judging myself so much, was so fearful of other people judging me. And, if I said ums and ahs, and if I didn't get it all perfect, and I've never done a perfect Facebook Live ever. Always had some kind of stumble. I've always had some kind of, I haven't expressed myself as eloquently as I wanted to. But people still get help from my Facebook Lives. I get messages all the time saying that was really helpful. I've applied that. That was exactly what I needed to hear. So if I had let that that desire for perfection, hold me back and make me fearful of being visible and showing up online, even when I didn't feel like it, if I succumbed to that fear, I would never have got better at it. Because I feel a lot more comfortable now doing Facebook Lives than I did when I first started, right? So competence builds confidence. So when you get competent, when you feel more comfortable with something, you feel more confident, right? So we have to show up and be visible and not get it perfect and let go of that perfection. And a really good way to do it is to make sure that we understand why it's so important. So you might know your why, logically know your why, but we need to strengthen the why. And we strengthen it through repetition, through reminding ourselves all the reasons why it's so important. So what you can do with this strategy is literally write down as many reasons as you can think of why it's so important for you to show up and be visible. That is going to be the fuel, the emotional fuel that's going to drive you to do it even when you don't feel like it. Or it's actually going to drive you to do it and feel like doing it. So sometimes it's a case of just showing up because you've committed. Like I show up every week because I've committed to that, even though I don't always feel like it. But I have such a big reason for doing it. I'm so connected to my why because I'm so passionate about helping entrepreneurs to help more people. I want to help more people to help more people to help more people, because the ripple effect of leaders getting on purpose, the ripple effect of leaders stepping up and being brave and bold and being visible and out there is going to impact families, it's going to impact communities. So my why is so much bigger than me, right? It's not about me thinking, what am I going to get out of it? It's actually when I focus on the message that I'm sharing, when I focus on what's coming through me as a message, like I get the download and then I pour it out, and then it's like a songwriter releasing their song into the world, and then that song becomes everyone's song, right? So the songwriter, if they had held that in and not been visible, not shown up, and maybe not taken it to their band in its infant stage before it was developed and crafted. I know this because I used to write songs for a band, and there was that level of vulnerability when you take your song idea to a band, when I took it to my band and I'd say, hey, this is my idea, it's not fully formed, it's not fully crafted. So you're presenting an idea and you're throwing it out there for judgment. But if you don't do that, if all the beautiful songs that have been written, if that songwriter had just held it to themselves, then the rest of the world would have missed out, or the art piece or whatever it is that, you know, people that have created it. There's always an element of vulnerability when we get visible, when we put ourselves out there. So we're going to be, I was sharing with someone today, there's two different things that we can focus on. We can focus on the limiting belief, the mindset, the root cause of what is driving us to feel not good enough, not smart enough, not whatever enough. It's always about not being enough. We can work on that mindset, and we do need to chip away at that mindset, or we can just take action despite that mindset and then let the beliefs just catch up themselves. And beliefs do start to change when we take action and give our brain evidence to prove it wrong. So we've got to give our brain evidence that we're safe, that it's actually quite enjoyable to share our message. Like if you think about it, you get a captive audience who is maybe not your friends and family, because your friends and family are bored of you talking about business. So you can put it into a group or into your business page where you know that people are going to get help by it. How much joy is it in that? You get to share your message. This is probably why you're in business, because you want to share your message, have a bigger impact, you know, help people to get inspired, get on purpose, and change their life. So being visible allows you to do that. So when you strengthen that why is being visible going to give me all of my highest values? So being visible is going to help me to help more people. Being visible is going to give me potentially more income. It's going to help me make more impact. It's going to help me get better as a speaker. It's going to help me craft my messages. It's going to, you know, there's just so many benefits. So I recommend that you write them out, really strengthen that why. Hey Mel, good to see you on here. Strengthen that why. So I'm just going to recap the 3 ways to overcome your fear of being visible. So first of all, you're going to identify the belief driving that fear. Identify what is it specifically. Sometimes that can be quite hard because it's a bit of an unconscious belief. So you've got to do a bit of digging, and I recommend that you do that through journaling. Remember that every belief is a thought that we accept as truth. Number 2, we've got to identify the belief that is needed in order to take the action, in order to get visible. What do I actually need to believe in order to get visible? Well, first of all, I need to believe that if people judge me or not, it's none of my business. I need to believe that if people think that I'm not good enough, it's none of my business. I'm not going to let that person who might judge me stop me from all these people getting benefit from. For me, I was really worried about what my ex-boss might think. And so all these people that could benefit from what I offered missed out because of this one person who wasn't even my ideal client, that I don't even see anymore. Is actually quite ridiculous. So when you actually figure out who's the person that I'm most afraid of, you can do practical things like not share it to them, you know, customize your Facebook so you're actually not showing it to these certain people that make you feel like that. Or you can just say, if they see it, they see it. This is me. It's too hard to pretend to be someone else, and all these other people are missing out if I do it. So number 3, strengthen your why. Really get in touch with the people that you're going to serve, the people that you're going to help, the people that you're going to impact. Once you start thinking about them and things that are bigger than yourself, that is no match for fear. Love is stronger than fear. So connect in with your why. It's about connecting in with your heart, your passion, your reason. your multiple reasons, and then nothing will stop you from being out there. You will just be like, let me out there, right? So we've got to go back into those beliefs, strengthen them, identify them, find out what we need to believe instead, and then strengthen our why and go for it. I hope that's been helpful. Thank you for those of you who are online. So nice to see you on here. I really hope that you got some good value out of there and that you can actually take some action on these. If you would like weekly ongoing strategies about how to get clients, how to grow your business, how to basically, create the kind of lifestyle that you want through having a profitable business, I send out videos and blogs every week, once a week. So if you'd like to be on that list and be hooked up with those, that is in the caption. You can just click on the link and I will send you out those things weekly. So thanks again for joining me. Have a beautiful, wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.